On my first day at MCS, we made these rockets out of like 2-liter pop bottles that you pumped air into and they'd shoot off. So that was my very first experience at MCS. Probably one of my biggest memories from high school would be singing "We Are the Champions" at the top of our lungs. We were all terribly off key, but it was just an amazing time after we won state our freshman year.
I was involved with soccer, basketball, and baseball throughout my high school career at Mansfield Christian, and specifically I loved playing baseball. It's always been one of my favorite sports, and I enjoyed it at Mansfield Christian. So I'm not much of a science guy, but one of my favorite classes at Mansfield Christian was the College Credit Plus Anatomy class with Mr. Suter. I loved learning about the human body and how God created us to function. Another one of my favorite classes was the English class. I've always loved writing, and Mansfield Christian allowed me to be able to do that more. One of my favorite parts of Mansfield Christian School was being a part of the National Honor Society. When being a part of it, it allowed me to be able to serve at my church and in my community. Another one of my favorite parts of the National Honor Society was the New York trip. Someday in the future, I'll be able to look at my classmates and say, you remember that time we went to New York City and had a blast?
I've been at MCS for 14 years, and one thing I really enjoyed was that our elementary teachers are extremely experienced, and they know how to handle each kid differently and recognize that you can't handle every kid the same. One thing I really enjoyed was being a class president. I did it for 3 years, and it was really neat getting to plan homecomings, proms, senior trips. But even if you're not involved in like a student government program, you're still very involved in planning your class's events, and you get to work hands-on with the faculty at the school. I appreciated that not only our English teachers, but our other teachers encouraged us to write papers, and most of us are leaving the school knowing how to write very good papers in several different formats.
So this past year in Bible class, we really focused on taking all that we have learned since we were little kids in like preschool all the way through now, like all the Bible verses and all like the doctrine and theology that we've learned, and to take what we have learned and apply it. They always talk about like applying what you've learned in like math and science and English, but it's like in Bible, take all that you have learned and apply that to spreading the gospel, to sharing Jesus with the rest of the world. I have to thank my parents for making the decision to send me to Mansfield Christian School. I know it was a costly decision and it caused them to give up a lot of things. I had to sacrifice a lot, but there was no better way for me to spend the past 10 years of my life surrounded by people that love me and love God at Mansfield Christian School.
It's game day.